Welcome to They Said, She Heard, the podcast, where words become turning points. I'm your host, Samantha Gibson. Here we talk with leaders, dreamers, and change makers about one simple question. What was said to you, and how did it move you forward, set you back, or make you rebuild? Because sometimes the words that break us are the same ones that build who we become. Before we get started, I first say thank you so much to our studio sponsor, Ashley with Fairway Mortgage. We are out here in Phoenix, Arizona, and the recording today, the audio today in a quiet room would truly not be possible if it wasn't for her. So if anybody is in need of a mortgage, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to share her information. I also do a huge follower shout out. So this week on LinkedIn, episode went out on Spotify, and I had tagged one of the 5 inspirational people. It was Caller. She literally commented back, we connected, and her energy is exactly what I needed for this week's episode. So with that said, I wanted to introduce somebody that I find to be really inspirational, a dear friend, and that is Nicole. So Nicole, will you tell everybody your name, your title, and what company you're with?
So I'm Nicole. I am founder, owner, architect of On Point Architecture. We're a commercial architecture firm in Mesa, Arizona. Been in business since 2016. I started that business when my youngest was 12 weeks old.
Isn't that crazy?
I literally have a picture somewhere of me drafting with a baby sitting on my lap.
That goes to prove like how life and work, I think people, when they talk about balance,
Yeah,
it goes
that's
into
a balance.
with
Yeah.
baby on my hip.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and hop on in. I wanted to just ask you that question. I think the podcast was really created because so many business professionals, we wear those hats, personal life. We wear those hats of trying to grow within an organization or starting a business, whatever. And I think we don't talk about it enough, those challenges, right? Things are
Right.
either going to move you forward, backwards, or potentially make you like want to just stick dynamite all over it and start from the ground up. So let's go ahead and ask you the question. You might notice I'm taking down some notes. Those will be used for quotes later
Right.
down the road on
Okay.
social media.
There's no quiz.
And well, maybe, I don't know. But okay, so what was something said to you and how did it move you forward, set you back, or make you rebuild?
So when I first read that question, the very first thing that popped up goes way back 32 years ago. I was 15 years old. And the reason it popped up in my head recently is I was watching another person's podcast. There was a young architect on, a male, and someone had asked him, hey, who was your mentor growing up? How did you get into the field of architecture? And he talked in length about his drafting teacher in high school and how that drafting teacher had really mentored him in getting into architecture and encouraging him. And I thought, as a young 15-year-old, I took drafting course in high school, and I was in, of course, this was late 1994, sitting at my desk at the first day of class, and the teacher, an older male, came up and said, why are you in my class? Because, of course, I was the only female in his architectural drafting course. And I said, well, I want to be an architect. And if you think I'm bold and a feminist, I was 10 times that at 15 years old. And he looked at me and he goes, women don't become architects. And walked away from my desk. And I made it through that class. But I remember in that moment thinking, yeah, you watch me. I'm going to become an architect. It was probably the exact opposite of what his intent of that statement was.
Sure.
But I'm a strong-headed bull that's like, I don't care if I don't have the right appendage.
Yeah.
I'm going to become an architect. You watch me. And yeah, in 2008, I got licensed. And I've been practicing architecture since 2001.
Okay, so I know you the way I know you. So therefore, that dedication to prove the point is not shocking. I will say that as that for like politically correct. What I will say though, it's interesting to me because it goes back to the power of the words, right? I think people take for granted with the kids, because between you and I think we have a school bus of kids, and then Ashley's in here too. And we all really do have a school bus with the children. But I think it's so important, even from those young ages, right? Like at a young age, it's important to be kind and considerate with our words. But then as you get older, even when you're a teenager, when you're in your early 20s, 30s, 40s, etc., I'm learning and I'm experiencing firsthand that certain words or phrases, right? They will stay with you and it truly will make or break you, right? I've been referenced before as a square peg in a round hole. And it's something that the person didn't maliciously intend to say something.
Sure.
And on certain days, it's my driving force. And on other days, it's really a kick in the junk for me because it makes me feel I'm less than adequate. So with that drive, like from that moment on, did you or do you think that you started paying attention in class differently? Did it make you look at that course differently than had he not said that?
I honestly don't remember that course much. Like, I honestly
Interesting.
only remember that comment and the way that I felt like it won't stop me. And the reason I bring that up today,
Yeah.
32 years later, um, I started a podcast with a girlfriend of mine that will come out soon. And it's about women in leadership in my industry, which is male dominated. And it's not a knock on men. It's just, hey, this is what we've dealt with in our industry and how that affects us every day. And I don't want, and part of it's because I don't want any woman in this industry ever to feel like they're not good enough just because of what they do or don't have between their legs, right? I want them to know that they can work hard and learn our industry and be strong in their abilities and move forward and get everything they want out of their life career wise. I started out as an architectural degree. I got my degree, 5-year degree, and I took 7 years to take my state licensing test. And today I'm an owner of a million-dollar company. So there is a path. And I did that while I was married. I had 3 children. I'm recently divorced and I'm still successful. And I think every woman needs to know that for any industry. But I want to be the mentor in my industry. And the strong voice to say, I could have given up at 15 years old and the guy told me I couldn't be what I wanted to be just because of being a female, but I didn't. I didn't let that happen. And I have always been strong-willed. Yeah, it's fiercely independent. And I know not every woman has that intuition, I guess. So I teach them, hey, you can do it. You just have to put those haters on the side and don't listen to them.
Well, and I think we'll have to do another episode. We'll do a different episode on a different day. But again, because I know you on a personal level. And I will say something that is really important too. I say this often, like on my social media, you can use things as a reason or as an excuse,
Yes, exactly.
right?
Absolutely.
And choosing to use
100%.
it as a reason. So you chose what was said to you to be the driving factor forward, but it's also, you didn't stop when you got married. You didn't stop when you had the kids. You didn't stop when you got through the divorce. And there's traumas, right? Like
Right.
there are some traumas. That's why I say there is another episode that I have not even, and this will not help me get through that.
We're gonna
Or
need
you.
some
Yes, we'll
vodka
need
for that.
something. We'll need something. But it is I think it's, again, it goes back to this. I think it's so critical. People sometimes think, and maybe some of you out there, you feel it's the comparison game, right? Like we're all getting overstimulated with just social media platforms, et cetera, and people moving up in companies. And sometimes it's okay to rebuild, or it's okay to just go in neutral and go micro step. Like
Yeah.
again, because you could be trying to do leaps and bounds, but your life isn't guaranteed for tomorrow.
No. And
So
that kind of goes into your next question because,
yeah.
yeah.
So let's go to the next one. So this one is a subcategorization of a question because that big one was the big one. But what's something you're currently learning for your personal growth, and why did you choose that to be it?
So I got divorced in January after a 19-year relationship with the father of my children. And this year, someone told me, my girlfriend, Sarah said, the first year is going to be really, really hard. And I had no idea how hard this year would be. Trauma's a good word. So I'm learning grace for myself, for my kids, Yeah.
And grace is so, that word is so easy, I feel, but the meaning behind it is one of the hardest things to master. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
Especially
I
when you're driven.
I'm a yes, I was just gonna say I'm a type A, put your big girl panties on, strap your boots in, like, get your shit done, Nicole, right? Like,
Yeah.
and there have been times where I've had to turn the camera off in conferences
Yeah.
because I'm having a emotional moment.
Yeah.
And I work with industry professionals that don't need to see me crying on the conference call, but I can't help it because it just hits you like a wave. And then somebody recently said, because another thing that I'm working on is celebrating the positives. I don't do that. I don't think I've ever done that. I won a big medical client recently, and my friend Troy's like, "What'd you do to celebrate?" And I was like, "I've never even."
I keep working.
I don't know. Yes, I keep working. I keep putting out projects, doing the thing, being the mom. Like, I just do everything. I don't think about it. I just do it, and it gets done, and I go to the next thing. Like, that's just been my entire life, survival.
Yeah.
And this year has definitely been all about survival and healing and finding myself again. And it's been a really hard year. And yeah, you have to celebrate even the little stuff, and you have to give yourself grace because you're human.
Well, and
Sometimes life isn't easy.
I would say we can delete that word sometimes. Life isn't easy. If you're living your life, really living your life, it's not easy. It's just not going to be. And I think that something, at least, again, and we know each other. So you know my story as much as I know yours. And I will say this, what I am learning, and even one of the reasons that the podcast is here, and people that are following me on my LinkedIn, my message is starting to get more bold, but not in a negative way, in an
Right.
honest, authentic way, right? And
Right.
I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I said, you know what I have realized in speaking truth and bringing owners, like bringing titles to the table so that we can have some real conversation. What I am also very quickly realizing is I am working myself out of a W-2 job. I know that I've crossed the point of no return because if
Oh, I know that
anyone,
feeling.
yeah,
I'll
because if
never be able to
anyone
work for
saw,
someone else.
that's it. If anyone ever, because I've been an entrepreneur, right? But I've
Right.
gone to W-2 jobs and I've ran companies, I've led organizational, all these different things, right? Like things, fair enough. But when you start speaking authentically, what is still there in the professional corporate America world is the fear that if we choose to be honest, we're going to lose our job. And there's no gray. It is,
Yeah.
we will lose our job, right? If we cry on the job, if we look exhausted, if we need a mental health day. And that's something I hope this podcast really starts normalizing. I hope that the initiatives of the consulting leg of things for me help start normalizing into workplace because we have to learn that it has to be okay because when we are trying to repress these emotions, it makes it stick around a lot longer. It makes us tail spin a lot further. Where if you just give yourself that grace, like
Yeah.
you said, right?
Yeah.
So that we can have a conversation
Right.
or I can let it get through. Because as quick as you let it get out, there's room to fit other things.
I think the more human you are with your clientele and your consultants, the stronger relationship you develop with them, the better
Agreed.
your business will be. I have a monthly email that goes out, and the first part of the email is always architecture related. And the second part is always a personal story. And I put it all out there, all the crazy shit I've done, all the
Yeah.
stupid stuff I've done on job sites, all the pain that I've had over the years. It's out there. And I think it's because marketing works if it's personal. And my business is personal. Like my business is me. I run my business like I run my life. And the clients that love me because I am real with them.
Well, and I think that there's this opportunity as well. There really is something to be said about quality over quantity. So it's okay to have less clients because you'll actually net and generate more revenue. I think that it's really critical as well because when you're choosing to be authentic, when you're choosing not to be authentic, you don't care if the bridge burns. You don't care if you poop or you eat. You don't care about all these other things. And the reason is because you don't see it as your career. When you're looking at a legacy career, I think It takes a lot of lessons up front because we're
Mhm.
willing to take whatever noodles that will stick at the beginning. Fair enough.
Right.
But then you start having enough pain points and learning lessons that you recognize, wait, I want to be so selective with who I choose. It's not just
Mm.
about them choosing me, it's me choosing them too.
Yeah, I've actually said that where I'm interviewing my clients as much as they're
Yes,
interviewing me
agreed.
because we're together at least a couple years.
That's
But
it.
I have a 75% repeat clientele, which
Just
is pretty
excellent.
pretty good. And so I think it's because they enjoy working with me, not just because I obviously I put out good architecture and that makes a big
Sure.
difference.
Yeah, but I think it goes back to that people want to do business with people,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so we're going to start wrapping up because my mental clock is telling me we're getting close. Oh, that's good. 4 minutes. Okay, so things that are going to be important. I want people to be able to find you. I want people to be able to connect with you. And y'all, I don't have a newsletter for this. I don't even have a newsletter really for my real estate company, my consulting. I don't have,
Hook you
I
up
don't,
with my writer. She's
yeah,
amazing.
maybe because I send out monthly recipes. Like I'm all about like, I will send you a recipe. But I will make sure to include hyperlinks so that if you want to sign up for Nicole's newsletter, if you want to connect with her on social media, if you have a podcast, if you have an opportunity to bring her, she is incredible. I can truly say I've known her over a decade. We have known each other through babies, through marriages, through divorce, through career changes, through career growth, and everything in between. So I'd love for you guys to connect that way. And I do actually, her newsletter is the only newsletter I read. That's big. That is big because my ADHD does not let me do all that. And I will literally stop to click on hers.
Mine's funny.
It's awesome. Like it's just awesome, the vibe. So, okay. So I'm going to give you a question. You get to draw. They're not
Okay.
the same. You cannot answer it. You can't answer any of it here. You have to go on your social media and you can make the post as creative as you want or as
Okay.
simple as you want. I could care less.
All right.
But you do get to read the question out loud so that if
Okay.
anybody wants to go see the answers, they can go find you.
Okay.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, shoot. What's a failure story that still makes you laugh?
Okay, and don't answer. You can't answer. So if you guys want to see/hear her answers, make sure to go to her social medias. She will be posting it there. And again, I want to thank you guys for listening. I want to thank you guys for supporting. I want to thank you guys for believing in me enough in my story and what I have to share. You guys following, you guys reviewing, you guys commenting, and you guys just all of it. You're awesome. And I remind you, it doesn't matter your title. It doesn't matter who you are seen, you are loved, you are valued, you matter. And with that, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much, Nicole.